what's your reaction to Tyrese Haliburton's emotional post about his Achilles tear?
He deserves some smoke.
Yeah.
How do we do it? Unlocked, unlocked? We'll give Tyrese Haliburton some smoke. Very eloquently written.
Statue. You should get a statue.
Yeah.
Shit.
Nah, man, it's
First time doing it?
coming out of surgery, going into surgery and coming out of surgery and reflecting, right? Gathering your thoughts, gathering your emotions, gathering your desire, all of it just combined in one, man, and this is what you get. And it's a good thing that he's able to share this with people, and this is one of the more positive things that social media has allowed players to be able to interact with their with fans, and so no, it's good to see, man, his spirit, see where he is, see where his mind is going. So shout out to speedy recovery to Tyrese Haliburton, man.
Shaq, what do you think about Tyrese Haliburton reflecting after surgery on his injury perspective, on how he'll bounce back, be the best version of Tyrese Haliburton?
It was beautiful. I felt like he did and said everything he was supposed to say to encourage everybody else who's in the same position. Never lose hope. Your mentality is the only thing that's going to rise you above any kind of setback. And I think he's embraced that right mentality to understand that you can get the city there. You can keep the inspiration alive, and you can make sure everybody who followed you keep following you, because the journey ain't over. And I think that's important for him, his family, his fan base, everybody, to know that this kid right here got more than just spirit, more than just heart. Like, he tried to really do it. And so for him to come up short because of injury, I think the mentality is the only thing that's gonna leverage people still believing in him. And I think everybody that's adopted the Mamba mentalities come very close to not falling short. And those who have know how to get back there, because that mentality can get you there. So I'm very appreciative of him and his resilience to get through it mentally. Now he just got to do the work.
So let's shift over to this side of the couch. Mr. B, you suffered a similar injury in your career.
Yeah.
So you have a very deep understanding of what Tyrese Haliburton is going through right now. But what do you think about him reflecting on that with that lengthy post?
No, I'm glad his spirits is high. I know when I tore my Achilles at 25, my spirits wasn't like this. So he definitely has a good head on his shoulders. You know, I think for me, when I got hurt, you know, I think it was more about what's next for me. So, you know, like you said, becoming the best version of himself. You know, I think, you know, my time when I got hurt and I got a chance to understand who I really was and what I really loved. So, you know, I think just with this time, you know, just, you know, keep your spirits high and get into things that, you know, you never thought that you could get into, and just like myself with fashion and things like that. So just got to stay positive, keep the right people around you. But it's going to be a work in progress, just overall, just mentally. So I just wish the best for him.
For sure. Lucky for, you know, not lucky, but his game really don't need that like to be jumping a lot, you know. So for him, he's just a winner, and I'm glad he's keeping his spirits up, the mentality of, you know, Kobe is a good inspiration, for real. And what he did for Indiana, I ain't seen Indiana like this in a while, man. This guy is starting to be the heart and soul of Indiana. Just keep believing. It's gonna be days where you don't got faith, and you're gonna be mad at the world and mad at just basketball and not wanting to get up and do the work. But you know, those gonna be the times that you just gotta keep believing and get out there and do it. You know, it's better days for sure.
Last but not least, Gil.
What?
Number 0, just like Tyrese Haliburton. What do you think about Hali reflecting on his injury and finding the silver lining in the bright side of what the road ahead is?
You know, this is the shock part of the recovery, where, you know, it's more about you can't believe this happened at this moment in time, right? You know, you're starting off the game on fire. You know, you came out there, so you're still questioning yourself. Should you have still did it? And the answer is yes. You're gonna always say yes. Even knowing the results, you're gonna say yes. So this is where you're trying to just reflect your thoughts, because while you're sitting there and the world is moving forward, your teammates is doing what they're doing. People are calling, people are not calling. You're watching, sports and you're looking at, social media. The game is moving. So all you have right now is your thoughts. And just like any injury, there's going to be positive days. There's going to be horrible days where he feel he's not where he's supposed to be, but that's normal, right? And, just like Jason Tatum, just like Dame, just like Kyrie, I make sure, once a week, once every 2 weeks, how's your mental? How you doing? You feeling good? Because sometimes you just need that, because there might be a day where he's feeling real good, and then next day he feels like shit, like there's no movement, right? There's gonna be 2 steps back, forward, 10 steps back. So he's gonna have to understand that. So there's gonna be multiple times where you see him tweet throughout this process, and you're gonna be like, yo, what's going on with him? But, stay positive, right? Understand that there is a bigger calling. Understand that for you yourself, this is your right foot, right? You don't jump off your right foot, so everything you do going to the basket is not affected. This allows you to open up the left side of your game. So you got to look at the positives, right? Right now we know you like moving right. Now you're going to have to learn to move left. Now you open up 2 sides of your game, but your floater's going to be there, your shot's going to be there. So it's not like, the guys before you or years before you where it was their dominant leg, where their jumping leg, where it took away their jumping ability. So you're going to be fine in that category. So just like KD didn't stop him, just like Jason Tatum is going to be fine when he gets back, he's still going to have his jumping ability. And just like yourself, it's not your dominant leg where the pass, that's where that injury affected them. Because it's more of an up and down injury versus speed. So you don't stop your speed, you stop your jumping ability.
Yeah. And the one thing he said, man, and once you, like I said, this was NBA Finals for him. I could only imagine. Like I can only go back to when I got hurt in college, right? Going down right before the NCAA tournament, not getting an opportunity to play in the tournament, right? And he said something in his post, and you just the constant thought that you have is why now?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a reoccurring fucking, it just plays over and over. And that's like when I went down and Hugs came out there, and that's the first thing I said to him, man, not now, man.
Not now, yeah.
Like, not now. Like, I just kept, he's like, you okay? I'm like, man, not now, man. Like, not now. And then when he went down, his reaction was no. Yeah. Like, it's that, man. Like, so it's gonna be this reoccurring theme that I think he's starting to process. Like, it was out of, like, I would do it again no matter what.
Yep.
And it was out of, so it's, I want him to get past that part of it, right?
Yeah, that, but
because it is like, why now, man? Why?
How long did it take you to get out of it? A couple months.
Boy, I was numb. Wait, like, it's a while, bro.
That's what I said. Like,
it was a while, bro.
Like for the USC Juju, she's
like
now,
probably not to my
now in the positive stage.
Probably not till fucking the ball went up my first game my rookie year, bro.
Yep, to make sure.
And then I was out there playing again, and then like I make sure I was, and I still wasn't probably 100% like, but I was out there playing.
Yeah.
And it just kept replaying, man. Like, why now, man? Like really? Like, I didn't work. I did all this fucking work, man. I didn't did all this fucking like.
Who I get mad?
Yeah, man.
Did I break some mirrors around this? This is part of the 7 year, like.
And it's
like, do I have the right people around me? Fuck, like what the fuck?
Right, bro. Lucky he's able to fit in this manner, and it's a different time, man. And just for me, it was just trying your best to have the right people around you and like try to avoid negativity at all costs. Like whatever it was, like, but it's a long haul, man, but I'm saying the work is still the work.
So we talked about this a little bit on the show yesterday, but we had 3 Eastern Conference stars who all wear number 0 suffer season-ending torn Achilles injuries. Dame Lillard, obviously Tatum, Haliburton.
And Gilbert.
All started with calf strains. Gil, you said you talked to Tatum, you talked to Dame. They said that they were experiencing pain in their calf with the strain. before the Achilles. So I don't put this on Hali. I know all of you said on this couch that you would all, in a similar situation, play in that game, play for a championship. But how much is this now?
Of course, man. Look.
But how much is this now on a team to step in and say, look, man, you got the calf strain. We've seen what this leads to with stars and superstars in our league. Do you think this will change how teams approach players with calf strains in postseason games going forward?
Yes, it should for the team itself, because the player themselves has been wired since they've been little to play no matter what. So
This is the biggest stage.
He might not ever play that game again. That game 7 in the championship. When he retires, one thing he will always remember is he hit them 3 shots, he was balling. Right? That's what gets to keep him sane. So when you say keep it in the player's hand, the player is going to trick himself every single time. Kevin Durant, no matter what you say, would you play in that game in Toronto?
He might say no.
He gonna say yes.
Yeah.
It's a championship, dog. This is not round 1. This is the championship. Because in our mind, if we rewind, I might not do that move. See, if I don't do that move, I'm not gonna tear my ACL. See, we're gonna always trick ourselves to say there's a possibility where I'm not gonna do it.
It's always 2020.
Right? So we're gonna always take the chances. That's what we've been training for since we was fucking little kids. This moment. So the trainers and the organization is gonna have to tell us we can't play.
The trainer.
Like, nigga, don't show up.
The trainer.
Yeah, I know that we don't listen to them.
No, motherfucker, he can't say, man, it is out of his control.
The coach.
It's coach. It's
gonna be after the coach.
Signing that check and the motherfucking head coach gonna be like, I'm not playing you.
They're gonna have to put the name in and don't put his name in. Hey, brother, remove it. Do that. Remove his jersey.
It ain't even gonna be in the locker. Listen, that's the thing, dog. It's not gonna be in the locker if they didn't want him to play, right? It's gonna have to be out of his control. The coach gonna be like, I'm not playing him. Mm-hmm. Everybody got the memo. The head coach, I am not playing him. Right? Don't put the jersey in the locker because I'm not playing him. Mm-hmm. Well, it's that simple, right? If you leave it up, because we listen, we more important than the trainer. Mm-hmm. The trainer has no say-so in this.
If it's one game,
the trainer has no say-so.
If it's one game,
Game 7.
If he would have played the 6th game. If he didn't play the 6th game,
but you're down 3-2. But
that's what I'm saying. If it's just one game, you could play.
Down
Not
3-2.
2. You can't keep going back to
back.
back.
He's going.
But he only played 23 minutes in that game 6, obviously.
He's going.
Listen. What call it? From Gordon, he had a hamstring, right? Game 7.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If it's just one game, I'll do it. You can't do 2.
Can't do 2.
But this is the most important game. Yeah. 6 was important. This was even more important than that one, right? This for all the marbles.
Well, 6 at that point, you're facing elimination.
You are, but I'm saying that's important.
Yeah.
That's important. I say that's important.
Yeah.
They got over that hurdle, but this is for all the marbles now, right? So no matter what nobody say, the trainer has no say-so in this, man. I hear y'all. Y'all want the medical staff to do their job. The medical staff is really irrelevant in this situation. Because it's going to take for the head coach to say, I'm not going to play him. Because we can debo the trainer. Yep. Whatever you say, I'm going to go over your head.
Nigga be like, yeah, I feel good. Do these squats.
I'm saying, what's your relationship with the owner when you was with the Wizards?
A1.
What you would have done?
Called him.
And say what?
I'm ready.
And
I'm good.
Hey, tell him I can go. Yep. He going to be like, I spoke to Gilbert. Gilbert said he's fine.
Yep.
I'm just telling you, man, when it's for this, they ain't never won it. Opportunity, chance, all that shit is right here. It's out of the medical staff's hand at this point. Player, head coach, ownership.
So we asked the chat, should Hali regret playing in game 6 and 7? 76% of the chat says no. But let's keep this thing moving. We got to talk about a big trade that went down
like, your coach, I'm not going to play you. If something, if they knew, right? If they went to the head coach and been like, the owner been like, listen, what you think? He'd be like, I'm not playing him because this could happen, right?
Whoever
it would have been Rick Carlisle.
Say it.
Whoever sent me the message.
Yeah.
this got to fight me.
Yeah. Say it.
This got to fight me.
The coach that don't play me in the game 7.
Yeah. You got to see.
He has
Whoever
to be
makes the
fired.
decision,
He has
whoever
to be fired.
whoever we fighting,
We good. Like,
and you gotta have to like
fucked
you
up
said,
my
hide
moment.
the jersey and all that
Like,
type
don't
of
put
shit.
the jersey out
Oh,
there.
it's gonna be a whole type of shit going
Yeah.
on in the locker room. It's gonna be a whole energy.
Yeah, you
but I
fucked
have
my
to then
moment
respect
up,
the
And then
energy.
just imagine how much of a
You gotta respect the energy
how
too.
Rick Carlisle. People been around Rick. Rick know people like Rick didn't step in, right? And say I'm not gonna play.
I
Easily
need him.
could have. I'm saying easily could. I'm saying he could have, but he didn't. But this is the opportunity for everybody. So it happens.
What did he
right?
give us? He gave us how much percent of Halliburton in that first quarter?
Yeah, whatever.
All
he had.
shit, everything.
All of it.
So
Everything.
that
Yeah,
them 9 points.
Yeah, it went a long
You know
way.
what them 9 points felt like?
Yeah,
That felt like 40.
I dig it.
Felt like, listen, it's gonna be a long night for you niggas. You better hope something like this happens
no, I'm
to me.
going to play no matter
Because I
what,
came
so-
here before the game. Hey, let's go, Haliburton. You know what time it is.
And this-
Game 7. We didn't come here for nothing but leaving here with the trophy.
Yeah.
Pacers in 7. So for it to happen, it's devastating because he knew where he was going. He knew where he was going.
Now this is where load management had taken over. When you sit back making these decisions and you sit here and say, fuck, was it worth it? Because we miss them all next year.
Yeah,
All that revenue we're gonna miss next year.
man.
Was it worth it for the business? And they're gonna say, fuck, it wasn't. Because now we might lose, we're gonna lose them all next year and we might lose them another one. So that means jersey sales, the ticket sales and playoff, fuck, we fucked up. That's the business part of it. And that's why the business has taken over
Well,
and jumped into
to
load management.
a certain degree, I agree with you, but they are playing in Indianapolis. They are the main attraction there. It won't be effect during this time. During the regular season, they don't play at the
Hey,
same
still-
time.
and it's still
They
Indiana,
don't play
though.
at the same time.
No, he can feed. They
Well,
feed off
they
of
don't play
her.
at the same
I get it,
time.
I get it.
But they
Right,
feed off of
playing
her.
now during
Yeah,
the
for
summer.
sure.
They play
They're
this-
gonna stay
Her coming to
relevant.
games.
They
They're
played
gonna
this
stay
late
relevant.
in
Not
the
coming to
season. They
games
played
next
this late in the
season?
season.
Yeah.
She was able to come
Hali
to the
not there.
games.
Oh,
They were
come
playing at the same time right now.
Point
Yes,
pick, Hali.
they're probably not gonna make it to the finals next year without Ty. We understand that, but their fan base still gonna come support. They're still going. They're still gonna sell out every home game. They're still all that shit still gonna exist.
Let me ask you a question.
Whether he's not playing next year, we know that. So I don't think any of that is going to be effective for that team because of where it is and what there's nothing else going on during that time. Got the Colts, of course.
they
People will go
20 and
support them.
60.
People been going to them games forever.
When they 20
right?
and 60, they ain't
Cool.
gonna have
me
They
ask
that.
you
going,
a
bro.
question.
This
Let me
ain't
ask you a
it's
question.
small time. It ain't the trust. They
It ain't the
going.
Wizards.
They going,
Still
dog.
ain't
Small,
get sold
small
out.
cities,
They
that's
going.
all they got.
They going, dog. No matter what.
Tickets
There's-
might be
There's
$2.
nothing to do on that random Wednesday. Trust me.
We all seen the
Hey,
Indiana.
ain't no hookah lounge to go to. Just like that.
Tiana Trump.
I was out there for All-Star Weekend.
I ain't gonna lie.
Say that, we're doing All-Star.
It's all within a mile radius of
I
each
see all
other.
y'all you got. Just like
No, I
really
played
got
in
much.
Golden State where we won 20 games, packed.
Yeah. Sacramento's trash
Because
all them
that's the
years.
Raider, it's the Raider fans.
Yeah.
So it's the
Everybody
black,
going.
it's the black
Raiders
hole
trash.
fans. So
Yeah, the Raiders
they coming. They
Are
walking
the-
the
Are the
motherfucker.
Indiana Pacers a good team?
Yes.
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 So with Haliburton, they're good enough to be considered a good team in the NBA.
No.
No, they without him, they're a good team. With them, they're a better team.
With them. Are they considered to be a good team with them?
Yes.
Okay.
No. No.
So y'all trying to tell me
They're not
Championship
making
caliber
the
team.
that
If niggas see TJ McCullough
that
in
y'all
front
wouldn't
of him,
y'all wouldn't go
they'll see-
all in with this decision to play for Game 7 and not have a chance.
Say it again.
in
To
that
win your
game.
first chip in franchise history?
Yeah, of course you're gonna go.
Sure.
Of course we're going.
Yeah.
We're gonna play, right?
1,000%.
And the reason we're gonna play is why?
It's an opportunity.
We have a top of this win.
We
Game
are there.
7,
We are
right?
here.
What y'all was saying about the management, y'all wouldn't risk it.
Who said that?
That's what y'all was.
It was a hypothetical.
No, have it then.
I was saying for him not to play, it would have taken that.
Yeah.
It would have taken the head coach say, I'm not playing him.
Because the players gonna do
Because the
whatever
players, because we're going to, whatever the medical staff say,
I'm
don't.
saying as even as the owner and all of them,
Yeah.
I'm not making a decision to play it safe with that because
No,
we're
they
right
didn't.
here.
I'm saying because they didn't. I'm saying that's what it would have taken. But because they didn't do it, everybody was in a line that he's going to play, right? There's an opportunity for our organization to win our first championship. So everybody was in alignment. But what for him not to play, the owner it would have taken a different mindset. That's what we're saying. We're all saying that 1,000, we would have played, we would have put him out there if it was us, but that's what it would have taken for him not to play. Like for the head coach, to call the owner and be like, I understand what's at stake, but I care about this more than I'm not playing it. And then therefore, whatever comes with that decision, the coach gonna have to live with. But that's not the case, so Rick didn't do it, so it was
He probably would have lost them too. As the owner, player might lose the player. Man, fuck this nigga. Man.
Didn't they sit him out one game in the playoffs?
Ass nigga, man. Nigga, soft ass.
Didn't they sit Haliburton out last series? Then he got hurt. Did he sit out one game?
I think last year.
I think last
It wasn't
That
the
was,
series. He
that
didn't
was
sit
a
out
hammy.
none of this
It was a
series.
hammy last year, right?
I think
Last year,
But he played all the games this series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even with the little tweak. Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. We got to talk about a big trade that went down. Offseason officially underway.